A former 49ers wide receiver is back in the news, and not necessarily for signing with the team or anything relevant to the San Francisco 49ers, but a player that we just discussed last week in Jalen Hurd, who many of you remember, the former third round draft pick out of Baylor, who had shown tons of potential with the San Francisco 49ers in his breakout preseason game against the Cowboys, and then got hurt, and we just never really got to see him on the field. Well, he is back on an NFL roster. Good for Jalen Hurd, as Jordan Schultz is reporting that the New England Patriots have agreed to terms with former 49ers third round selection and Baylor standout wide receiver Jalen Hurd. Man, it has been a long time since I have heard that name. I remember watching Jalen Hurd at 49ers training camp. I think it was Trey Lance's rookie season, and they were able to complete some passes down the stretch, but ultimately Jalen Hurd had a hard time staying healthy throughout that particular training camp and just ultimately couldn't stay on the roster. The 49ers didn't bring him back to the practice squad or anything like that. I think they decided it was time to turn the page on the Jalen Hurd kind of situation. Now, obviously, it's bittersweet for 49ers fans. It's bitter because many fans believed that Jalen Hurd was going to be a phenomenal playmaker for the 49ers. 6'5, 225 pounds, former running back, converted to wide receiver, and had a real physical running style. So, of course, in Kyle Shanahan's scheme, many fans had high hopes for Jalen Hurd. Unfortunately, injuries cut his time short with the 49ers, and that's what it comes down to. But I think the sweet part is for 49ers fans is that none of us were rooting against Jalen Hurd. I think, when injuries pop up and are reoccurring for players, it can be frustrating as a fan because fans have high expectations and they want to see these guys contribute to their favorite teams. And so when guys can't get out on the field, it can be frustrating. More frustrating for some, but I think when we're looking at this, especially this far removed, looking at the success that the 49ers have had, you have Debo Samuel, you have Brandon Ayuk, you have CMC. The 49ers aren't hurting for weapons. I think we can take a step back and appreciate that Jalen Hurd is healthy enough to get another opportunity. Now, it's obviously going to be bitter if all of a sudden Jalen Hurd just balls out with the New England Patriots, but again, on the other side of things, this is great news for Jalen Hurd that he can continue his football career that again was cut short due to injuries. You never want to see that happen to any player, let alone a player that used to play on your squad. So, good news. Jalen Hurd is back in the NFL. Obviously, not with the 49ers. He is with the Patriots. But again, you never know. It'll be interesting to see what Jalen Hurd is able to show in training camp, what he's able to show in preseason for the Patriots. Does he make their roster, or does he end up and wind up on someone's practice squad next year? Again, we posed the question like, would you like to see Jalen Hurd potentially on the 49ers practice squad again? I think a lot of fans, especially if he can prove he could stay healthy, wouldn't mind that because again, it's like the one that got away. You just never knew. We don't know what could have been with Debo Samuel and Jalen Hurd. Obviously, that question will always remain. So it's always fun to think about the potential of, hey, what if Jalen did come back to the practice squad? Is that likely? Highly doubtful that that ever happens, but it's just something to think about. Let me know what you think of this news. Again, it's not really 49ers related. It's just about a player that was highly discussed, highly hyped, and a lot of expectations for that. Unfortunately, were just derailed from injury. And he gets another opportunity, this time with Bill Belichick, Mac Jones, and the Patriots. Let me know what you think about Jalen Hurts siding with the Patriots in the comments below. And of course, as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.